with the class. Haruna Wem by name. I'll I'll continue with the CIT 102 course with you guys. My colleague Dr. Olorunfemi started a course, so I'll be taking it on from now for this this class and two other classes. So today we'll be talking about the implementation strategies of algorithms. So we'll be looking at what is an algorithm, why do we need algorithms, and what's the end product of an algorithm. Basically, the whole purpose of having an algorithm, or even the whole purpose of having a computer, is that we want to solve specific problems. That is what we need the computer for. The computer hardware provides the hardware, memory, um, processors, and everything we need for solving a particular problem. But the hardware on its own cannot function without the software. Now, the software are also regarded as computer programs. Now, a computer program is a set of instructions that a computer must follow in solving a particular problem. The whole goal of having computers in the first place is we want to solve problems like earlier mentioned. Now, to solve those problems, we need computer programs that are specific for certain problems, the exact problems we wanted to solve, that we want to solve. That's what computer programs does for us. We have various types of computer programs that we can talk about now. We have email applications, we have your portal applications. All of those are computer programs. Now, all of them solve specific problems. For example, your email application solves the problem of easy communication. Your portal makes it easy for you to manage your studentship status, and other things like your results, your bed space. As a matter of fact, even the smart school Hub makes it possible for us to have these lectures right now. So all of those are computer programs. But computer programs themselves don't just come into being. Something is the driving force of the computer program, and that's what is regarded as the algorithm. Now, an algorithm is a final sequence of well-defined computer implementable instructions for solving a problem. Let's take it again and let's look at the keywords. Finite sequence. That means that it does not go on forever. An algorithm is not meant to run till thy kingdom come. It has to have a starting point and it has to end at some point. Of well-defined computer implementable instructions. Well defined in the sense that it's non ambiguous. You don't want to add at the same time you want to subtract. Computer implementable, the whole essence of having algorithms at the end of the day is don't forget we want to be able to convert these algorithms into computer programs. Now, if we cannot translate these algorithms into computer programs, then they are useless. For solving a problem, like I mentioned earlier, computer programs solve specific problems. You don't. Yes, it can be robust whereby you can add other things to it, but there must still be that particular thing that you want to achieve with each program or each computer software. We can also regard it as a set of rules that precisely defines a sequence of operations for solving a particular problem, quite similar to the first definition. Now, there are two ways by which we can develop an algorithm. We can either use flowcharts or pseudocodes. Flowcharts are pseudocodes. So, what is a flowchart? Flowcharts are written with program flow from top of a page to the bottom. That does not mean they have to be on a single page, but all they mean is that they must start from the top and end at the bottom. Each command is placed in a box of appropriate shape, and the arrows are used to direct program flow. Basically, we get there actually in full, but for now, just know that flowcharts have arrows that directs the direction of the flow of the program that points to what is next, what should come first, what should follow. Now, flowcharts have different shapes, and each shape have what each of them denotes. We'll get there shortly, possibly in the next class. Circle code is another method of developing algorithms, and is done by describing computer algorithms using a combination of natural language and programming language. Now, this next point is quite important. It allows the programmer to formulate the sequence of a computer algorithm without the need of following the exact coding syntax, so that you don't necessarily have to be a Java programmer or a Python programmer, an R programmer, or which other programming languages there exist to be able to write pseudocode. As a matter of fact, writing both flowcharts and pseudocode, basically by that I mean writing algorithms now, is the bedrock of computer programs or computer programming. Whatever program you want to write, whatever program you want to solve, if your algorithm is poorly constructed, if your algorithm is not good enough, then you most probably won't have a good functional program. At best, it's gonna be buggy in the sense that you're gonna have a lot of bugs in your program. That's why it's always good to have your pseudocode and your guide, flowchart. By that again, your algorithm. Now, the essence of pseudocodes is the fact that you don't need to learn the syntax and the semantics of a particular programming language to be able to develop pseudocodes. Of course, there are still rules that you have to follow. They are well standardized. There are standardized rules and that are used for developing pseudocodes. But the main thing is, any pseudocode should be we should be able to translate pseudocodes, of course, by extension for flowcharts also, into a program into um, a programming language. You must be able to implement it on with any of the programming languages like this, and at the end of the day, be able to get a computer program. Now, there are various um, steps in developing an algorithm. The first step is you must obtain a description of the problem. Second step is you must be able to analyze this problem. The third step is you must be able to develop a high level algorithm. And the first step is the high level algorithm that we developed, we must be able to refine it by adding more details. Then finally, we must review our algorithm. Now let's take the first step. Now, obtaining the description of the problem, I will tell you that this is like the most important, most crucial, most most basic, okay, basic, just basic of any um, software development process. You must know the exact problem you want to solve. As a matter of fact, this is actually very tricky. Most oftentimes, you have to always revisit the problem statement. Well, you can refer to it as problem statement again, or the description problem. They're the same thing. Always time you must always have to go back there to review what exactly is this problem, to be able to make sure that you've not either not done what you're supposed to do, or you've diverted totally, or in a sense you may not even understand what you want to do in the first place. You may just be doing whatever it is you think you're doing. So oftentimes the client is responsible for creating a description of the problem. Yes, the client most times, as an IT developer, you always or you meet someone who just needs a particular program for solving a particular problem. Maybe in his place of work, in his office, or maybe he just wants to sell it. Either way, you always get to meet people and say, "Oh, I need a software that can do this. I need a software that can do that." But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's only the clients that must come up with ideas. You yourself can come up with an idea. The most basic thing to understand here, or the basic thing to understand, I don't know why I keep saying most basic anyway. The basic thing to understand here is that the human intuition of identifying a problem and to critically think of a way of solving this problem now in from terms of technology now, computers, from hardware, softwares, and all. That's what we're talking about. Now, that is most crucial. It doesn't necessarily mean that you must always have to wait for a client to come up with a problem for you to solve. You can think of problems to solve on your own. Okay, so going back to this slide, I have human intuition of identifying a problem as well as proposing problem solutions to it is the driving force of this thing. Okay, that's just what I just said. Problem descriptions usually suffer from the following. Description relies on unstated assumptions. Now, you will always have to face this. Someone comes to you with a problem, all the person wants to just tell you is, oh, there's a problem. I need a particular software. Maybe, oh, I need an app that can maybe automatically tell you the kind of food you should eat this afternoon. Maybe based on your health or status or whatever your task for the day. Maybe if you use a particular platform, maybe you won't be able to achieve it. I don't know. I'm just giving an example. Now, someone might come up with that idea and oh, I will just jump at it. Wow, what's such a beautiful idea? But I can tell you there are a lot of things that have been unsaid. As simple, as straightforward as that is, it's much more complex. By the time you now start, you never now look at there's a lot of assumptions there that were stated. We never said, okay, this app is it going to be for a man or for a woman, a student or a child, or is it going to be for the working class? Because all of us go through different um, activities in a day, and of course, that will mean that we require different energy levels. So that's always the number one problem we face at that step. The second problem is that description is ambiguous. Yes, ambiguous. Ambiguous in the sense that it is not clear. It can be one and it can be two. It's not. It's so vague. It's blurry. Number three, the description is incomplete. Yes, like the example I gave to you, I only said, okay, want to build an app that will recommend food for people. Now, based on what are these recommendations going to be on? I was never told, or we are not being told, okay, maybe this has to be based on the kind of work that you're doing. This has to be we're going to consider your task for the naming book now as a student. Today you're going to have classes, or today your lectures are free. No, all of that were not stated. The fourth one is that this description has internal contradictions. Yes, most times, basically on the fact that you are not clear, ambiguity, all of that. I think that's point number four is a combination of point number one to three. You're not just so sure there could be contradictions that okay, if somebody wants to eat this, if you claim that somebody that has a lot of work to do today should eat something quite heavy, and that contradiction will say that eating something quite heavy may make the person slip over carrying out his or her activities. So problem description is always a huge task, and it takes being a lot of experience, a lot of questioning to be able to have a clear cut problem, to understand the problem exactly, the exact problem that you want to solve. Now, the developer responsibility is to identify the defects in the description of a problem and to work with the client to remedy those defects. Developer must seek clarity for ambiguous descriptions. Clarity must be requested for incomplete descriptions. Then collaborative development between the client and developer oftentimes resolves defects in problem descriptions. But the point is that you don't keep quiet. Once the problem is not clear, you are always asking, you must always ask questions, ask for clarity, research on your own, read up on your own, make sure you understand the problem. Otherwise, your solution will be off. Actually, so this is first lecture video. I can't finish this lecture in this single video, so I'm gonna finish it up in the next um video. Don't forget that I've sent the lecture material as well as this same slide to you guys. Make sure you read it up and also watch this second video that is coming up right immediately after this video. So also we're gonna have a discussion class where you guys can ask your questions and I will give you answers. I will let you know um, about that after the second video. Thank you so much.